My name is Chris Walker. My role with DCS is I'm a Senior Lead Community Coordinator for the Northwest region with Reentry Services. In my role as a Community Coordinator, we in Reentry Services, we work to build those relationships with resources, employers, housing, mental health, substance abuse, education, anything the supervisee may need. We work to build those relationships, and then we work with the supervisees that have a need for those resources and get them connected to try to take some of that off the officer. So a day in the life of a community coordinator. You go into the day with a specific goal of things that you want to do, a to-do list. Sometimes you get into that list and sometimes you don't before the phone starts ringing, and then maybe it's an officer that has an immediate need or somebody's in crisis. So your day consists of, most of the time, helping individuals who are under supervision. The officer, you may have a homeless sex offender, and that's going to take a good portion of your day trying to find housing for them. You may have a Goodwill job fair, and you're walking people through going through the application process and introducing them to employers to try to help them find jobs. So each day is going to be a little different. Some days you're going to have days where you're hit with 4 or 5 crises and you're just managing your time to get that done. But at the end goal is to make those supervisees in a position where they're able to be, 1, secure in a resident stable, and 2, being able to do something that's going to be productive for them. What drew me to community corrections was, out of college, I kind of wanted to get into community corrections. It was just something I felt like it was what my calling was. I've always wanted to serve and to assist people, do that outside in my personal life as well as my professional life. So I started my career working with kids. I started my first year out of college working with the Georgia Sheriff's Youth Home. Then I went to the Department of Juvenile Justice, where I spent a little north of 13 years. Things were going great there. I'd worked my way up to what would be the equivalent to an assistant chief here, juvenile program manager there. And I just had a door open with the Department of Community Supervision that just was perfect for my life and the season of life that we were in with my family. And the opportunity for the work-life balance that we have at DCS was just an open air breath of fresh air. Then that was the biggest draw. And it was still in a position where I could continue to help and serve people. The story I would love to share with you guys is I've had a lady that I started in 2015. I actually saw this lady yesterday while I was at the Goodwill job fair. She's in a mental health caseload, but I've been working with her consistently since 2015. She now has her own place. She has a housing voucher. She has a stable job with Goodwill. She's had some ups and downs. She's on her medication. I spent time with her at the emergency room one time because they could not get her to take her medication. And several hours into me being there, we were able to, the trust that she and I built wound up into her taking her medication so that she could get stabilized, so she could get put into a mental health hospital just for stabilization to get her back to where she needed to be. But seeing somebody in that situation and just knowing they need somebody to take the time to care about them, knowing, yes, they've made some mistakes in life, but the same blood, the red blood that runs through my veins runs through there. So who am I to treat them any differently, but just to sit there and try to help them get to where they need to be successful. So I can't say her name, but she every time I see her out in public, she speaks to me. She is still under supervision, but she's doing well. I'm very proud of her. But that's probably one of the more memorable things that I'll take with me for a long time. One of the most, if not the most rewarding part of my job is you get to see people at their worst. They may not get to their best, but they're better than they were when you started. Not all of them are, but you take them to the water, so to speak, in the reentry services. We take them to where they should be or can be and be successful. And sometimes they take 3 steps back once they take those 2 steps forward. But to see the joy and where the potential that they can be when they take those 2 steps forward, that's the most rewarding part, is to see that you get to make a difference in somebody's life. The biggest challenges that we've had to overcome is changing the stigma that some of the folks that we serve have, just in general. and try to teach people to take people at who they are and on a case-by-case basis, because not everybody's the same. Not every case is the same. The charges may look the same, but the circumstances are different. My proudest moment would probably have to be, I don't know that there is a proudest moment, because I enjoy what I do. So each day that I come to work, I get to have fun. Some days are stressful, but it's something that you enjoy doing. So, I mean, to say I have a proudest moment, I can't pinpoint one thing that I'm the most proud of. I'm proud of the people that I get to work with. I'm proud that I'm able to be the daddy and the husband that God's called me to be in this. I'm proud that I'm able to establish relationships and friendships with people that'll go far beyond my career. I'm proud of the fact that I have the best leadership that I've ever worked for. From the commissioner down to Director Stanley, down to Mary Elliott, my immediate supervisor. I'm most proud of the team that we've built, the changes that we've made in reentry services, from where we started to where we're at now, and how we affect the mission of DCS, the direction of DCS, and how we're so able to incorporate reentry services into establishing those key performance indicators, and how we're able to steer that and assist the officers. I think that's probably, the supervisees are a big thing, and that's the driving force behind what we do. But the way that reentry services has been able to change our direction and still communicate and help the people that we serve, but it also helps the officers and makes their job more efficient, is probably one of my most proudest moments. And I'm just proud to be a part of DCS. I enjoy working in this department. I think the more we get our story out there of the positive things that we do and the way that we help people, the better off DCS is going to be as we continue to tell our story.